Hello guys, today we are going to learn about form in React. So in React we can create form two ways. One is controlled component and another way is uncontrolled component. So in controlled component the form input data is controlled by the parent element, and in uncontrolled component the data is controlled by the user. So now today we are going to implement controlled component. So first I am going to create form element. And under form I'm going to create two input field, and for first input field I'm going to name label as username. Now I'm going to add br for tag for indentation, and now I'm going to create input field. The type for the input field should be text. Now I'm going to create another input field, and for the name for that input field should be password. Type should be password. So here you can see the UI for these input fields. Now as I mentioned in the control component, the input field data is controlled by the parent element. For that reason I am going to create two state variable. One is username, also I am going to import useState from React, and another useState for password. Now as I mentioned, the value of input field is controlled by the controlled component variable. So for that reason I am going to add a value attribute to the input field and mention username state variable here. Same way for password, I am going to add value attribute and assign value password to it. Now I am going to the UI. Now I want to type anything into the username. But here you can see when I am typing it is not reflecting into the input label. So for that reason I am going to add onChange event on input field. So we are passing event. So now whatever user typing into the username input field, that value I'm going to store into username state variable. So e.target.value. Same way I'm going to add onChange event for the password field. Set password. Now when I come to the UI, now when I try to type anything into the user label, we can see the text into the input label field or not. So here you can see now it is reflecting to the UI. Now I am going to create one button. Submit. And for this button I am going to give type as submit. So here what I want to do, when user click on submit, those username and password should be shown to the UI after the submit button. So for that reason I am going to create two more state. One is show username set another for password. Now I am going to add on submit function on form element and going to triggered handle submit function. So here also when user click on button, this handle function going to be triggered. For that reason I am passing event e. Now I am going to define this handle function. Now it will take argument e, the event. Now when user click on submit button, I don't want to refresh the page. So for that reason, I need to call prevent default function, which will help us to not load our page when user click on submit button. Now I am going to set show username, passing username. So now I am going to the UI and type some random name, Rahul, and in the password. So now when I click on submit button, so I want to show these two values next to the submit button. So for that reason, I'm going to show those values to the JSX. So now here I have added show user state variable name and show password variable name to the JSX. So now when user click on this submit button, these two values should show next to the submit button. Let's test it out. Yeah, here you can see this is the value we have written into the input text field that is shown to the UI. So this is the controlled component where the form data is controlled by the controlled parent element. So that's it for this tutorial. In the next tutorial we will learn about the use ref. Thank you.